Hello, welcome back. This is the Teach Mindfulness podcast. My name is Shamash Aladina, author of Mindfulness for Dummies, and today we're talking all about acceptance and teaching acceptance. So, as I mentioned in our last episode, acceptance is one of the four key elements that make up mindfulness, according to ACT research. So, how can we teach acceptance? So, first of all, let's remember that acceptance, like the other elements, is a skill. It's a skill that we can share with others, and so we want to develop help our clients, our students, to learn the skill of acceptance. So how do you go about doing that? Well, first of all, just guiding mindfulness meditations will begin to develop that skill, because if your students will be practicing, let's say, something like mindfulness of breath or mindfulness of body, and there may be some sensations that come up, or they may have certain urges like the urge to stop meditating, or the urge to go and eat or drink something, or certain thoughts may be coming and going. And rather than being in the normal automatic pilot mode of mind and going off and doing that, they're starting to develop that skill of acceptance, of allowing, of creating space for that sensation to be there. So, almost in any mindful meditation that you'll be guiding for your students, you'll be developing some skill of acceptance. If you want to go a little bit deeper to teach the skill of acceptance, you can actually invite your students to actually think back to a time when they were going through a difficulty or a challenge, or to think about a current difficulty. Remember to be sensitive, and don't invite them to find the most difficult challenge they've ever had, something that they're willing to work with now, but something that brings up a certain sensation. If it's a very mild challenge, then it won't bring up a sensation in the body. If you consider um, ask them to consider a challenge that is maybe a medium-sized challenge, for example, it will bring up a certain sensation in the body. And then you can start developing the skill of acceptance. You can get them to do this by becoming curious of the sensation, noticing the location, the size, maybe it has a color associated with it. And then you can just start exploring the relationship between them and this sensation in the body. There's so many different ways of doing this. So you can use your creativity. I'm all about creative mindfulness. So you can use all sorts of creative ways of guiding your students into creating space and opening up and cultivating acceptance for this sensation. You can invite them to be kind towards it, to imagine their breath goes into it. And just one thing that I sometimes do is ask them to reflect. How accepting are you of this sensation right now on a scale of 1 to 10? And you can actually get them to see what kind of number on the scale they're on, how accepting they are of this difficult sensation. And then continue to practice, try using different language as you're guiding the meditation, use various approaches, maybe read a poem, and then see if that level of acceptance has gone up. Now, one key thing that I want to mention at this point is acceptance is not about getting rid of the sensation. And this is the big misconception that some teachers and certainly students have. They think that, once I've accepted this sensation, it will go away. It's just another way to try and fix it. And what we're trying to do is go away from this fix it mentality. We're trying to cultivate making space and allowing things like emotions and sensations to just be as they are, rather than trying to get rid of them or fight them or to avoid them or deny them. Make space for them to be as they are, and then refocus on whatever we need to do. So there's so much, about acceptance. There's whole books written about acceptance, but I've started to just dip my toe in to share with you some little techniques, and just to emphasize this is one of the key elements of mindfulness. And it's so important. Sometimes mindfulness-based approaches are called acceptance-based approaches. So it really does go towards the heart of mindfulness. But just be sensitive that the word acceptance doesn't go down too well quite often, because of people understand it in maybe a different way to what you want to explain it to be. So feel free to use different words in your classes and sessions. You can use allowing, making space, making room, being open. These kinds of words can also be used as another word. And one that's sometimes used in ACT is willingness. Are you willing to make space for this emotion or sensation to be there. So consider that and practice it yourself. Remember, if you want to be an effective mindful teacher, you want to practice yourself as much first of all. So have a go yourself. And once you've done that and had some experiences and insights, you can try it with your students as well. Okay, thanks for listening to the Teach Mindfulness podcast. If you want to find out more, just check out the other episodes here. Leave a rating on the podcast thing if you can, and feel free to get in touch. Thanks a lot, and see you in the next episode.